Hey there, Silver Age Guy here, and this is my first video, and what I'm going to be doing is showing you my comic collection that I've amassed over the past, believe it or not, almost 50 years. First, a little background. Back in the 60s, between say 62, 66, maybe into 67, I had a paper route and I made decent money, and so about 3 or so blocks from my house there was a drugstore, Mars Drugstore, right next door to the hardware store and next door to the Dairy Mart. And so when I made my collections from my paper route, I'd get on my bike with a couple of my friends and we'd ride over to the Mars Drugstore. First we'd get some candy and soda, and then we'd go in and get some comic books, and we'd take them home and we'd read them and we'd eat the junk food, and it was all good. But comic books were not anything that we kept or thought about keeping or saved. We just read them and put them in a pile in our room, in our bedroom, and every once in a while we'd get together, we'd look at them, we'd flip them, sometimes we'd trade them. I'd be at somebody's house, oh, I want that book, oh, I haven't read that, or whatever, because you could never get everything at the Mars Drugstore, but it had a pretty wide selection. So, I read comic books up until I was about 15 or 16. Yes, I'm an old guy. And then one day, there were piles of comic books in my bedroom, and the next day they were gone. I started playing in a band. I went to high school, I got my license, and girls came in the picture and comic books went out, and that's just the way it goes. And I had forgotten all about them until one day I was helping my mom clean out the basement, and I came across 2 rather large boxes, and in the boxes were my comic books, and I thought, oh, this was really interesting. And so I brought the comic books to my house in Pennsylvania, and I started to get interested again in looking through them, and more for a collecting standpoint. So that's when I started to, look at buying some things online and putting together a real collection of books. I had kids, so money was an object, and so I didn't add that much to my collection when I first discovered it. But over the past couple of years, I've been doing some shopping on eBay, and I've gone to a few conventions, and every once in a while when I travel, I'll stop into a comic book shop and see if there's something I really want. Anyway, I had this cabinet built back in 2005 or 6, and it's a really good place. As you can see, I don't have a giant collection like some of the other folks online. I'm very exclusive for 12-cent Marvels between 62 and 67. Maybe I'll go a little bit into 68 if it's got something in the cover that I really like. But I'm not much of a reader. I just like collecting them. I love the good Melee covers. They're always fun. So here's how I've got this broken down. I've got 4 drawers. The top left drawer is the team books. Fantastic Four, X-Men, and Avengers. The top right drawer is the insect drawer, I call it, which is Ant-Man and Spider-Man. And then I've got some CGC books. I did a little CGC a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, but then I kind of gave up on it. I'm not a real big fan of it. Because most of these books are my books anyway, that I bought when I was a kid. The bottom right drawer is the anthology or multi-story books. Journey into Mystery, Strange Tales, and of course my Tales of Suspense. And then the bottom left drawer, Captain America. I actually have a #1 issue with the 101 of the Hulk. I'm not sure where I got that one. I bought it on the newsstand somehow. Nick Fury, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then Daredevil, and I've got some early Tales of Suspense and Tales to Astonish that I've picked up over the years. And then I've got this other book called Fantastic Firsts, which is really a cool hardbound that I got at Mile High when I was living in Colorado many years ago. Way underpaid for it. I don't think you'd get it for that today, but it's great because it's got a lot of first origin stories in it. So my plan is that I'm going to go through each one of my books in a video. So I'll do FF first, and then I'll just proceed through the books. And hopefully you'll enjoy seeing my collection. And then as I pick comic books up along the way, I'll do some unboxing kind of things so you can see what I get. Anyway, that's it. I really enjoy seeing everybody's collections online, and I thought I would add to it. So there you go.